welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League. Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. Great game in store for y'all, and it comes your way next.
When you think about the classic venues to host the NFL's ultimate game, this one's right up near the top of the list. The Caesars Superdome here in New Orleans. We are minutes away from Super Bowl 59, and we've got a tremendous matchup in store. The moment is upon us, and we've got what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champions taking on the NFC champions. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis, and what a season it's been for our AFC champions. I mean, this was a fight just to get to the Super Bowl. You got to figure that they are very battle-tested and ready.
I'd agree with you 100% about that. You don't get there without having those types of attributes, and that's what you look for in a Super Bowl team. Character, confidence. These guys don't lack for either one of those. Now they're here. Now they're ready to win.
Meanwhile, our NFC champions, they have gone through a lot to get where they are. Everybody knows their story this season. What's the key for them as they start this Super Bowl?
Let's go full cliche on this one because it works. Remember what got you here. Been a winning formula all season long. This is a team that when we saw them in the preseason, we said they look like a group that has what it takes to be a Super Bowl winning team. And we've been proven right by what we've seen throughout the season.
In motion, the tight end. Here's a quick throw caught out wide. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So that as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football, all right? You're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. On play action, they'll throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. But defensively, you really can't script the start much better. You get a 3 and out and a sack.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. They kept them short of a first down on 1st and 2nd down. And then on 3rd down, they pick up a sack. What tremendous momentum for them to start this game.
4th down, and on is Ty Long to punt. Fielded at about the 28. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And touchdown! With a first touchdown of this Super Bowl, and a long one at that. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead.
Brandon, this is the Super Bowl. A touchdown scored in any game is big. In this one, it's massive.
A try here for the extra point. It's up and good, and it'll give his guys a 7-0 lead. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They trail early on in his Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. From the 33, here's second and a yard. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that's incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanting the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what did you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. They dialed up a 3rd and 1 blitz defensively. It worked.
Yeah, and a lot of people would think, hey, they thought pass and they guessed right. In a lot of cases, you bring the blitz just to mess up the blocking on a running play. Instead, in this situation, the run wasn't there. They just followed everything right back to the quarterback.
We are just getting started here at Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans. 1 quarter in the books. 7-0 is our score. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we are back. Biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, and both teams ready for the start of the 2nd quarter. Welcome back to the date on the calendar we circle every year. Super Bowl Sunday. Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis here with you as we get set to begin quarter 2. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. This Super Bowl, of course, just a huge one for this head coach. The first time he's walked the sidelines in a game of this magnitude. And you know, I might normally ask the cliche, what's going through his mind right now? But maybe the better question, CD, what do you think are the pitfalls of being a first-time head coach in this game?
Well, you know it's something that he thought about, Brandon, and he had to. And he was thinking about it long before he got to this stage. As the season progressed and he saw that his team was good, if he was smart, he started to make plans right then and there. Reach out to other coaches who've been there before. Find out how they handled winning, losing, handling all the ticket situations, travel, practice, all those things. And then trust your gut, make your best decision, and put it all out there and give your team their best chance to win.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A 13-yard touchdown run. And they are able to add on to their advantage. And when they called that play, I'm not sure they expected it to go all the way to the end zone. Nice little reward, though.
Without a doubt, and sometimes I think the offensive line gets a little bit more inspiration when they know that guy's going to get the ball because he doesn't touch it very often. They want to reward him for all that good blocking he does as well.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's capped off by a 13-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on second down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for a first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On is the punter long here as he sends this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. Fighting his way through contact. A big-time return there, 40 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. Now 2nd and 3. Now back to throw. And he's got it. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. From 21 yards away. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Well, I don't think that we're ready yet to say the route is on, but they have certainly looked near flawless here this first half, and now an extra point away from making it 21-0.
Yeah, and your experience led you to say that because we have both seen those 21-0 leads come and go in this league, but this one feels pretty darn secure, and here's the other part. Even when people chip away at it, it forces you into being almost perfect on the other side, doesn't it, in order to try and mount a comeback.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 21-0. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. One final go for this offense here in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Throwing right, and that's complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Back to throw now on 1st down. Being chased out left. Oh, he breaks it. Now the ball comes loose. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's going the other way. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball.
And this is going to be intercepted. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we've come upon halftime in the big one, the Super Bowl. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly. Both teams making their final adjustments of the season during this long halftime break. Who will claim the Lombardi Trophy? To find out, we go back to Brandon and Charles in New Orleans for the second half of Super Bowl 59.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And I would imagine this is where you have to take stock of the situation, CD, and say, gosh, we're halfway to the Lombardi Trophy. Let's not slow down now.
And I like the way you went there. Let's not slow down now, because the first half certainly went their way. And I would expect them to continue with that type of a game plan. But you're right. You do.
He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown. A great effort there. 63 yards. As his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 28-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Escaping the pressure right. And he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll make it second down. They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long. They'll look to throw here. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll get nothing out of that one. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Ty Long now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is taken at the 15. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
And we're back in the Super Bowl. Time to decide who gets to hoist that Lombardi trophy as we begin the fourth and final quarter of action. Folks, welcome back to the biggest stage in sports, the Super Bowl, and now we get down to the good stuff, the fourth and final quarter. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes this 35-0 now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
Let me get it.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. He's on his way. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So the ball changing hands on the interception, but meanwhile here we do have an injury on the play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described. And
they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Now the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Looking up into the roof, and he muffs it. It's loose. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to...
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. They'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this will be gathered up in the end zone. And that's a defensive touchdown. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. Extra point attempt to come here. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest. And this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
2nd and 11. Under pressure, and they got to him again. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
Well, I wish this staff luck as they try to find positives about this performance by their offense as we move through the early part of the 4th quarter. That sack, the latest example. Down by a boatload, this offense simply can't keep up, and the quarterback is still taking it.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the ball is going to wind up out of bounds, so they will lose yardage, but they'll keep the football. He's thankful right now for that sideline because it could have been a fumble loss, instead just a fumble, though they will have to punt it down.
You're right about that, but do you think there's ever been a player happier to see his own punter go on the field than him?
No.
I mean, not at all, right? How fortunate is he that they got a chance to punt it away, and it's not just a turnover at the spot.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play. So it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
So not just a blowout win for them today, Charles, but a shutout blowout win as well. Clearly just a superior effort on both sides of the ball.
Hey, didn't it feel like you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown, and then the defense jumped up and said, hold it. We're getting involved as well. You're exactly right. Big points, both sides contributing, a full team win.
Commissioner Goodell on the podium to make the presentation of the Lombardi Trophy to a very worthy franchise. Champions of Super Bowl 59. So that will conclude our coverage this year on EA Sports. I want to thank my partner, Charles Davis, for another incredible season together in the booth. Till the fall, folks, Brandon Gaudin saying good night from New Orleans.